Mexico.
타이어가 펑크 났는데 안녕하세요.
He was in the back for 2 days.
입구 근사하네. 비주얼 도랏. LA에서 지금 한 9시간 정도 걸려서 파나마시티 공항에 도착했는데, 여기서 또 맛있는 파나마 커피가 있는 보케테로 가려면 1시간 정도 또 비행기를 타야 됩니다. 무사히 다비드 공항에 도착했네요. 자, 이제 커피 일정 한번 밟아보겠습니다.
파나마 바리스타 챔피언이고 스페셜티 TNT 로스터스.
와, 파나마 바로 도착하자마자 간 곳입니다. TNT 커피.
Yes, a long time.
그 체리를 사서 프로세싱을 하는 거죠.
네.
They are still fresh because we just started the process.
이게 발효하고 균을 컨트롤한 커피인데, 와, 향 진짜 복합적이네.
Algo típico de Panamá puede ser el tapado. A la gente le gusta mucho tapado. Ajá.
집 시그니처 파파오라고. 겉바속촉이네요, 이거 딱. 오. 네, 브런치 메뉴인데 너무 맛있을 것 같네. 예.
More fast here, but when we want to dehydrate, make a very strong fermentation because with cold you need humidity a lot. Starting at this moment, we are making our test in a little batch. Maybe next year we will invest more money to have so many tank, special tank for make fermentation. But I like to use this size because it's perfect to control all the temperature, all the quantity of the coffee. Because when you use a lot of quantity, it's impossible to have a control. So at this moment we have a geisha wash fermented here, but we will put it out I think tomorrow morning. We use for make some cold dry, like this one. We are making a honey with fermentation in the beginning, and after we put it here. We will try to make a cold dry to try to keep more sweetness. So like I told you, we use a different kind of dry method to dry our coffee. And we have this.
야, 어떤 맛이 날까 진짜 궁금하네.
Flavors started to come out really precise, and I gave it a 91.25. Really good.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. 저 산 위에 있는 게 구름이 아니라고 했었죠?
네. 여기 농사 지는 분들이 설명할 거예요. 갑자기 이렇게 습기가 모아져서 비같이 느껴요. 거기 안에 산 속에 가 있어요.
와, 농장 가기 전에 그래도 여기 보케테에서 또 유명한 카페라는 곳에 왔는데, 여기서 간단하게 커피랑 아침 먹고 바로 농장으로 이동할 예정입니다. 게이샤. gracias. 야, 카페 테라스 자리에 앉았는데, 야, 이렇게 계곡이 흐르네. 아, 파나마 진짜 너무 좋아요. 시그니처 샌드위치라고 합니다. 와, 진짜 맛있어 보인다. 확실히 보케테에서는 이렇게 네임드의 출몰이 잦네요. 그냥 지나가다가 농장주나 바리스타 분들을 많이 만나는 경우가 있네요.
How are you?
How are you? Nice to
I'm
meet
very
you.
good. How are you?
It's like this. Perfect place. To me, it's a perfect place to grow corn. And as we go higher, you will feel the cool air. Of course, the altitude will help. So this area will be different than the other ones that you will be visiting in Kiel, Jaramillo, even in the other side. Probably here we'll feel more, I don't know, more as a rainforest.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
you have much more shade.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Venture. This is your place.
산재 오면 이런 데 한번 타야죠.
You are a common person.
너무 아름다워.
For sure. All these have a very big effect. Plus the soil. We are in volcanic soil. Volcanic soils feels higher than 1,600 meters because of the wind too. If we go to 1,600 meters to a farm in our neighbors in Colombia, we feel hot.
Very hot.
Very hot. It's going to start feeling better at 1,900 meters, 1,800 meters. We, as I show you at the back, we are right beside the park. We are in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Yes. It's hot. Doesn't feel hot, even though we are 1,575. Doesn't feel that hot because we have constant air. And the coffee receive enough energy to finish sun drying. You will see here about 70% of our production. We have a lower production this year.
I see.
So yes. There's about 2,000 square meters of coffee.
야, 계단식으로 된 아프리칸 베드네요. 이렇게 지금 커피들을 건조하고 있어요. 아, 근데 이게 바람하고 태양하고 이 온도가 서늘하면서도 따뜻하면서도 이게 건조에 엄청 도움이 된다고 하네.
But they were not stopping the drying at 15%, 20%. They were stopping the drying at 30% or 35%. So we start doing this a few years ago. Stop drying at certain humidity, and in Colombia they call it stabilization, but it's a dry fermentation. It's a dry fermentation because when you are about 30 to 35% humidity, you still have enough water to ferment. And we leave it over there for 5 to 7 days.
여기 건조하는 데를 잘 보면은 이렇게 경사가 져 있어갖고 경사의 끝에는 그늘 역할을 해줄 수 있는, 방파제 역할을 해줄 수 있는 저런 나무들이 있고, 그리고 이렇게 내리막이 이어지면서 계단식으로 건조가 되는 형태입니다. 건조 같은 경우에는 뭐 이틀 건조, 10일 건조, 15일 건조 이런 식으로 각기 시간이 다른 것들이 이렇게 건조침대에 있는 형태고.
Yeah, smell. Then open this.
향 진짜 좋아.
Open
과일 향 엄청 나네.
anaerobic dry for the past 5 days, 5 years, so 6 years. And what we notice is that the wow effect. Intensity, floral increase by doing this, the dry phase.
올해 아부 커피는 어떤 것 같아요?
일단 아부 커피 프로파일은 항상 인텐시티가 좋은데 컴플렉시티가 지금 진짜 많아요. 그 과일 향이랑 약간 좀 더 발효된 맛들도 되게 좋고 좋은 건 이제 스펙트럼이 되게 넓어요. 여기 커피는.
그리고 커피나무를 빽빽하게 심은 게 아니라 이렇게 좀 듬성듬성 영양분 많이 먹을 수 있게, 그리고 반드시 이렇게 그늘이 되는 큰 나무들이 이렇게 있고, 그리고 날씨도 그렇고 바람도 그렇고, 여기 보케테 같은 경우에는 그 특유의 날씨가 있잖아요. 안개가 엄청 많이 끼고 약간 서늘하고, 이런 조건들이 정말 이렇게 엄청난 커피를 만듭니다. 이게 다 뭔가 잡초투성이처럼 보여도 이게 다 게이샤 커피나무. 와, 커피 진짜 이쁘죠? 생긴 게. 아, 그리고 게이샤 커피가 심어진 이런 지역을 한 20분째 걷고 있거든요. 진짜 보면 알겠지만 거의 100% 쉐이드 그런 느낌이에요. 그죠? 그리고 수확할 때 진짜 힘들 것 같아. 그냥 이거 생 산이에요. 그냥 생 야산이고 험해요 길도. 와 이거 수확 어떻게 합니까? 진짜 힘들겠다.
Hi everyone, this is Jose from Abu Coffee. Thanks for coming over and visit us. Here we are at about 1,500 meters above sea level, where Harmony is makes a perfect blend between geisha trees and this beautiful forest. Thank you for coming over.
아니 이런 게 왜 평범하게 있냐고. 아바타에 나오는 나비들 살고 있는. 와우 컬러 보세요 진짜. 와 그리고 실제로 보면 윤기가 엄청나요 진짜. 아 드디어 밥 먹네요. 맛있어 보이네요.
Many places so, and I've been there four times.
같이 지내고 있는 에어비앤비인데 여기서 오늘 아침에 방문했던 아부커피의 커핑이 있을 예정입니다. 커핑하고 이번에는 내추럴 또 커핑합니다.
And it will turn out delicate. Yes, what about you?
Yeah, it still scored the highest for me. There's a lot of mandarin orange. It was a little bit of tropical fruit like star fruit, mango, and then it had orange blossom. And then finish is very white wine, like champagne and white wine finish. Very sweet. It has like really nice texture as well. I give this 92 at the moment. But yeah, clearly this coffee is gonna.
I scored that one 92.5.
타코, 맥주. 살루. 자, 머무는 에어비앤비입니다. 야, 영화에 나오는 집같이 생겼죠. 진짜 날씨가 미쳤습니다. 진짜 너무 좋습니다. 저 이번 파나마 일정 커피 팀입니다. 든든합니다 아주. 보라님 잘 잤어요?
네.
아, 잘 잤어요.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice.
I'm Ino.
Vino.
Ino.
Ino, Mario.
길이 진짜 험하네요 이게. 짐벌이어도 이렇게 흔들립니다. 와 가는 길이 쉽지 않네요. 와 여기서 이제 커핑한다고 하는데 와 공간 진짜 약간 히노키라서 나무 냄새도 많이 나고 커핑 준비하는 아 진짜 파나마 농장주의 삶인가요? 그림 아닙니까 지금 바베큐 준비하고 큰일 났습니다. 한국에 가고 싶지가 않습니다. 강력한 의지가 느껴지네요. 먼저 버라이어티 게이샤를 제외한 이제 다른 품종들 먼저 커핑하는데 걸을 게 없습니다. 어떤 커피가 맛있지 않을까요? 진짜.
Number 4 is a Pacamara wash.
첫 번째 커핑은 버라이어티를 했고 이번에는 게이샤 품종만 커핑합니다.
You're looking for more, and for us it was like this is too sensitive. How they being loose.
최고입니다. 와.
Some cheese. Here. Then, if no one wants to take the meat, I'll take the meat.
치즈. 오.
See? Wow.
우리 그 파나마 커피 공부할 때 그 미기우라는 거 있잖아요. 이런 안개 같은 현상. 이게 파나마 커피를 더 맛있게 해준다고 하거든요. 봐봐요. 여기는 이렇게 미기우가 있고 또 반대편은 좀 다르죠. 이런 게 또 재밌는 것 같아요. 농장 가는 길이 진짜 모험 같습니다. 이런 거 보면 완전 정글. 밀쿤불에 커피 가공하는 곳입니다.
With space, so it dries quicker.
이게 양이 진짜 적죠.
This we know now. because we
생산량이
are in
많을
these
수가
conditions.
없습니다. 와, 타이어가 터졌습니다.
I mean, look.
와,
Really flash.
진짜 제대로 뜯겼다.
But with the rocks here, it probably happens.
Yeah, no, they're right.
짠. 와, 이제 인터뷰하러 가야 됩니다. 이러고.
El flat de arriba. Flat. Flat tire.
타이어 펑크 시작단 됐어요. 보람님 비 잠깐 온다고 하지 않았어요?
올것 같은데.
아, 이 정도면은 파나마에서 뭐 그냥 기분 좋게 인터뷰할 수 있는. 그냥 소나기가 와버렸죠. 갑자기. 가쁜 소나기. 또 비가 뻗었네. 부엔디아스, 좋은 아침입니다. 지금 며칠 있으니까 아침 5시 정도면 눈을 뜨는 것 같아요. 그게 왜냐면 와, 닭소리가 계속 들려서 이렇게 갓생을 살 수 있습니다. 파나마에 오면. 야, 보켓은 진짜 무슨 놀이공원 같네요. 새로운 파나마 농장에 왔습니다. 아마 잘 아시겠지만 파나마 코토아 농장이고요. 지금 여기 농장주 집에 왔는데 진짜 의리의리합니다. 집이.
To do interview with you and things like this on the
Yeah.
in Victoria Corner.
But yeah, so when my great grandpa, he in the 1900s, he was living in Canada. He was Canadian, and he read about Boquete in a newspaper, and he and his brother adventured this way to get to know the place. So they both fell in love with the place, and my great grandpa also fell in love with my great grandma in here. So he decided to stay, but he had to go back, fix some stuff. His brother was already married, so he went back to Canada, and he decided to come build his house and everything on this side of the valley. We get a lot of rain on this side of the mountain because we are very close to the Cordillera, which is like the mountain range that divides the continental division between the Atlantic and the Pacific. So just here is where all the Caribbean and Atlantic rain falls upon. That's the first one.
와,
We just grow.
야, 아, 진짜 근사한데요. 스케일이 이쪽 제품 생산하는 거 보여줬는데 드디어 커핑합니다. 맛이 너무 궁금한데요. 또 얼마나 맛있을지.
Soil types, and the fact that Panama is very, very slim, we get a lot of, like, all the coffee farms get a huge influence from both oceans and their winds. So sometimes in other producing countries, the country might be a little bit larger, and you're gonna have all of the other producing countries in America are gonna have the seas at the west or the east, right? So, but we actually have it in the north and the south, and that really complements with the winds that we get. So the amount of influence you're gonna have from the Caribbean versus the Pacific is gonna really dictate how much the profile you're gonna develop. The rains from them are different at different months. So we get a more Caribbean rain from December to March, so right now, and then more Pacific from the rest of the year. However, the rains are also a bit different. So this bajareque, this drizzling that we always talk about, is from the Caribbean, and a more shower rain will be from the Pacific. And these two impact a lot the type of microorganisms and microbiota you're gonna have at your farms, because the humidities are different, because from the mountains and the wind patterns you can be a drier or a more wet region. So all of those create a bunch of different microclimates that we all have coffee at. So they all taste a bit different.
Nice. Welcome to the farm.
Thank you.
Coffee, it's a plant. It follows a pattern of climate. So it knows that after a dry season, it creates certain stress in the plant. Basically, the plant produces flowers because the plant thinks it's going to die. So it needs to preserve the species. So it produces flowers. So the beans start to produce more plants, not for us to drink it. So, but this dry pattern has been shifting, and now we're getting rains during the dry season and dry spells during the wet season, and that's confusing the plants. So we're getting off-season coffees. It's making it harder to produce. It's making it it lowers the production on the plant because it never gets to the right condition where it goes one way or the other. But still, I mean, this pattern sometimes can be general in Panama. So last November we had a lot of rain all over Panama. It was all over Central America. I mean, it was a very wet spell. It affected very much the lower elevation coffees, not so much the higher elevation.
Okay.
And the reason is because the lower elevation coffees were almost ready to be harvested. So it's like somebody an athlete that is going to a race. I mean, if you're close to the end line, you've been really struggling, you're very tired. So you're very tired, you're weak, then you can get disease. It's easier, it's harder for the plant to keep up. It's worn out of energy. Higher elevations, they're more immature, so they are more stubborn, they're harder to hit, so they have more resistance. So that's a good thing for geishas. So high elevations coffee didn't suffer so much as the lower elevation coffees, but still the production, these climates can be more on one side of Boquete or the other side. Remember that here we are very close to the continental divide, so we have these two these two climatic conditions. You get the Atlantic rains pushing against the Pacific rains. So Pacific rains normally come from May to December, Atlantic from December to January, although the winds are all year round. So the more winds you get, the less of the Pacific can come up. And depending on where you are, you can get more or less wind. So there can be areas that are more hit by Pacific rains than others. So it can change. So sometimes the other side of the Barú volcano has better weather conditions, sometimes it's Boquete. So my point is that it is affecting, but sometimes more one side or sometimes more the other side. We might find less of higher expression coffees in a certain year than in another. But the good thing about Panama is that we have all these microclimates, and there's always an area that has better weather than others, that is less affected, that will come out with very nice cups. There are years that all the coffees are like, wow.
Let me. Like I have a little bit like orange sorbet, and then very floral, like flower bouquet for me, like many different types of florals.
커핑 끝나고 지금 구매 관련된 이야기 하고 있습니다. 야, 이게 다 끝나려면은 한 4-5시간 이렇게 걸리는 것 같아요. 그래서 농장 하나 가서 뭐 견학하고 밭도 보고 이렇게 커핑하고 어떤 거 구매할지 이런 거 얘기도 하면 하루 가는 것 같아요. 와, 이렇게 여우비 같은 게 계속 내리고 있어요.
One of the likely ones in here now. You can, I don't know,
와, 과일 냄새 진짜 완전 폭발하는데요. 와, 이렇게 새로 커핑 랩을 이렇게 새로 짓고 있다고 합니다. 아, 다 그런.
But yeah, we have four. Like putting the naturals in here, they come from the farm with a lot of moisture. We have the rotational ones, and then we have the static ones. So the volume coffee goes to the rotational ones, and then the specialty coffee is gonna finish drying on these ones that you just open, and the coffee gets static so it doesn't move. That's because the coffee we store it in our cold rooms for like resting. And they're gonna be either in parchment or in cherry, depends if it's natural or washed.
끝나고 공장 견학하고 좀 많이 먹어도 맛있겠죠. 점심 먹고 또 다음 일정을 해보겠습니다. 이제 포켓에 이제 시내로 좀 내려왔습니다. 그리고 또 코토아, 이번에 초콜릿. 진짜 다양한 사업을 하죠. 초콜릿. 와, 초콜릿 매장은 재밌는 게 이렇게 술하고 페어링 할 수 있는 초콜릿 같은 거 이런 것도 있고. 아니, 초콜릿 이렇게 잘하는 데인 줄 몰랐어요.
아 그래요?
네, 무슨
공장이 있어요.
와, 오셨네.
But it's okay, 사장님. I take this.
사장님이 주신. See you next time.
Bye, see you.
Yeah. It's all. 생일 축하해. 보람님 못하는 게 뭐예요 대체? 이거 우리가 먹고 있잖아요. 보람님이 브라질에서 이런 거 다 배운 거 지금 쓸데없는 남자들만 먹잖아요.
근데 분명히 우리 인스타를 보고
고항 우마쿠 이때마스까 시몬상.
Japanese rice? Or
Yeah.
you don't?
I believe you.
This is more like a Brazilian rice.
아, 그리고 우리 홍일점 마리아, introduce yourself.
My name is Marília. I am a filmmaker from Brazil, and I'm here with Baran and with those guys, those amazing guys. And we are having a great night tonight with a barbecue and beers. And I learned a word. I don't know if it's right, but komawa.
Okay, perfect.
わー自己紹介のことを忘れちゃいました。ちょっとお願いしていいんですか？
いいですよ。こんにちは。日本のシュハリというインポーターの、シモンとパナマに今回初めて来て、ボランに連れてきてもらって。
Cheers, salud. 야, 오늘 비일 줄 알았는데 날씨가 이렇게 좋네요. 아, 날씨 요정 에스메랄다 농장을 오늘 가보겠습니다. 아, 도착했습니다. 오.
Hey, how are you?
So actually on a Monday morning is one of the days that there's the least amount going on here because we don't harvest on Sundays. So, but normally during the morning you can see the processing of the coffees that we've harvested the day before, the washed coffees that we've harvested the day before. We harvest and the coffee comes in around 5:30 or 6. The natural coffee will be floated and immediately be put on the beds or into one of the drying rooms or however it's going to be dried, wherever it's going to go. And the washed coffee will wait until the following morning at 7 a.m. We start processing the washed coffees. But since there was no harvest on Sunday, there is no harvest on Sunday, we don't have any washed coffees processing right now or not starting their process. But I'll start by taking you to the areas where we do have the washed coffees, and then we'll go out to the beds. So normally the coffees, they're gonna be received up there. We have 3 farms that have geisha coffee on it. One over there, which is Cañas Verdes to the west, Jaramillo to the east, and Kiel to the north. It's a lot of days, wait, since the 8th? We always do our anaerobics in a cool fermentation. So if it says an anaerobic coffee will always be done in a cool fermentation. And the C again means climate control. So this is also going to be put on the climate control. The difference between B, pre-drying, and just a simple ANK, because there are many coffees that you'll see that are just called ANK. The pre-drying will give it a fruitier, kind of more fruit-forward notes, whereas the ANC is let's say a cleaner, more terroir-oriented anaerobic fermentation. It's one of these coffees that it tastes juicy and fruity, even if you wash it and do everything the same day. It has that character to it because of, I don't know, the elevation, the plant, something about this. It's a very fruity coffee generally. And then, of course, I didn't talk about these. Yeah, these are the open washed fermentations. We can do these submerged or not. And this one is not submerged. I didn't see what that is, actually. Where's the ID on this? Oh, it's a Mario. Oh, no, it's an Eagle 5 FB. Cold ferment. B is going to the beds. Same as this one over here. Cold ferment. It's being fermented in cold, but it's going outside of the beds. It's not going to go to the climate control room. But it's just generally not what people prefer from Esmeralda, so we don't do them. So this is very early in the year, but we are getting the Catuai, the Diamond Mountain, ready for export. It's being hauled and it's going through the size classifier and coming down to the gravity machine and going through the color sorter. But this is a Catuai. It's not what we would do for the geishas. Have more steps. All done washed because the pre-orders were for washed, so we said just do it all washed. All right. We have almost 100% control, except that we are opening the door and shutting the door all the time, so that's the only thing where it's not controlled. But it's very different than being out drying outside on the drying beds, or yeah, basically drying outside on the drying beds, because it will have a constant temperature and it will have a constant humidity and airflow all the time. It takes a lot longer for this to dry, but we do believe that it comes out better if we do it slowly. So it takes longer for this to be available. These coffees, half of our naturals are still drying, but the coffees that we hope we're going to be able to use for something like Best of Panama or Esmeralda Auction, most of them will be fine. Most of them will be in here. This is our farm in Cañas Verdes. This is our farm in El Velo, and this is our farm in Jaramillo. So they come from these 3 regions. They end up here for all of the processing. This looks short, but this is actually 45 minutes. The other 2 farms are both closer because of the road, because the roads are better. But again, Cañas Verdes, Alto Kiel, or El Velo, which is on the most northern one. It's on the central mountain range, and over here to the east, Jaramillo, which is the original farm where we had geisha where the geisha came from in 2004, let's say, for the BOP.
이제 커핑 시간 가질 건데 진짜 기대되네요. 그 가공소에서 봤었던 커피들도 있고요, 새로운 커피들도 있고, 다양한 커피를 맛볼 겁니다 오늘. 아직 뭐 드라이 아로마 정도지만 느낌 어떠세요?
느낌이요?
네.
너무 좋은데요? 저희가 진짜로 이렇게 컴피티션에 사용할 수 있는 커피들이 진짜 많이 있는 것 같고
오.
봐도 이제 커피들이 진짜 훌륭한 것 같아요.
와, 향이
And then went to the climate control room to dry. And there are about, actually 105 kilos of that one. About 2,200. We have plants that are almost 13 years old up there, and they still taste greenish and young. And this is the first year that they've actually produced a large quantity, and it tastes very green and young. So I'm hoping that next year or the year after that, it will have more of a developed flavor to it. But it depends on the elevation. So we have a new farm in Jaramillo that's 3 years old and it started producing. It's still, the florality is different. It's not jasmine. It has florals, but it doesn't have jasmine. It has other florals in it. And it has a very deep black tea flavor to it, in my opinion. Daniel and I once, a long time ago, in 2007, 2008, something like that, did a comparison. No, I think it was more than that. Maybe 2009, 2010. We did a comparison between plants that were like 5 years old and plants that were 10 years old and plants that were 2 years old. I think actually one was 6 because our favorite was the 6-year-old plant. So 6 to 7 can be very floral, very nice, very vibrant. It can be nice younger than that too. It can be nice older than that too, but it depends. It depends on the region. So I think some of them to fully show their flavors take a longer time than others. It's a weird question that I've had from a lot of Central American countries, especially like when is it going to start showing the flavors of geisha? Because Costa Rica and Colombia and things like that, sometimes they have the florality, but they won't have the cup, or they'll have the cup, but they won't have florality in the cup. I don't know. I'm as an expert as you can possibly probably be on this, but still I don't know like where it will be floral and where it won't.
Once it shows its character, does it degrade over time?
Over time, yes.
Yeah. And how you found how long was that period of time?
We haven't really studied that, but it seems like it needs to rest. Well, it needs to rest several years and come back. But there are coffees. The higher the elevation, the better they're going to do. The higher the elevation, if they produce, they're usually going to produce coffees that have enough acidity, body, and florality to carry through as Panama geishas. Lower elevations have enough florality to carry through, but the body, the acidity does not become sweet as it cools because it doesn't have enough acidity. So it just sort of breaks apart as once the cup starts to cool, it falls apart. But you can have super high floralities on lower elevations. It's just that the cup itself is not going to go through until it won't hold until it's cold. And a lot of competitors actually like these lower elevations because they're super floral, but they don't like as a coffee itself, it doesn't hold through. In a competition, it might for a little bit because you only taste it at certain moments of the competition. But as a competition coffee for Best of Panama, never hold up. Because there you have to have the full 40-some minutes, and it has to be very sweet when it's already cold. I don't know, there's all kinds of things that we don't really have enough information about in coffee. Just some experience with.
It's not the miles, it's not the minutes between us, it's not the day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, thank you so much.
Yeah, nice, very nice.
짠, 저녁 먹으러 왔습니다. 오늘은 좀 사람이 많이 모인다고 하네요. 고기를 먹을 것 같습니다. 역시 분위기가, 와, 고기 봐봐. 와, 에이지.
I'm just running out of
와, 커피하는 사람들이 지금 이렇게 많이 모였습니다. 그래서 여러 개 시켜서 같이 먹기로 했어요. 맛있게 먹어보겠습니다.
Tanque lleno 95, surtidor en 0. Ahí está.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
자, 이제 농장 구경을 한번 시작해 보겠습니다. 올라가야 되는데 이거 타고 올라가야 될 것 같아요. 와, 진짜. 야, 이제 한참 올라가니까 커피 나무들이 나왔는데 이제 게이샤 나무들이라고 하네요. 벌써 땅하고는 이렇게 아득해졌습니다. 아, 많이 올라왔어요 진짜. Hello.
I don't know if you guys want to jump out and just.
보람님 사용한 WBC에서 사용한 게이샤가 여기서 나왔다고 합니다.
올해 퀄리티는 젠슨이 최고라고.
아, 올해요? 저희 너무 행운 아니에요? 그죠?
저희가 다 확보해야 돼요. 괜히 못 사게. 그래서 어제부터 엄청 짜증 내더라고요.
아, 보람님 대회 때 콩도 아까 봤거든요 밑에서.
네.
아.
처음으로 여기 오니까 좋네.
아, 진짜요? 아.
다른 거 이름 뭐예요? 한 17살 패스.
이거 보여주시려고 이렇게 올라왔네요.
Iris. But yeah, the land here, the volcanic soil is amazing. So you'll see. It's a beautiful day here in paradise.
Very beautiful place. 와, 카페. 잔슨 카페 왔습니다.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
아. 진짜. 와, 예술이네요 진짜. 잔슨도 마찬가지로 워시드부터 커핑하고 다른 가공 방식도 쭉쭉 커핑할 거.
Furumai. Furumai is Geshri started out as a
네, 워시드만 커핑한 지 지금 한 30분 지났습니다. 30분 지났는데도 선명해요. 특징들이 깨끗하고.
decided which ones were okay here, but these numbers here like just happened. So
청란 농장. 방금 잔슨 워시드 내추럴 커핑 마치고 이제 잔슨 이제 가문에서 또 운영하는 이 채소 공장에 또 견학 왔습니다.
we took all the technology from Holland and brought it here from Holland.
온실 진짜
Pretty
엄청
much,
커요. 아, 되게 싱그러운 야채 냄새 가득합니다. 잔슨의 집에 가는 도중에 또 타이어가 펑크 났는데. 알았어요. 저 진짜 혼자서도 타이어 갈 수 있을 것 같아요. 경메랏 커핑은 잔슨 집에서 한다고 해서 왔는데 집이 그림이네. 야씨. 늦은 점심인데 와, 이제 치킨하고 칩스를 준비해줬네요. 이거면 됩니다. 태경매를 출품한다고 하는데 이런 귀한 커피를 또 맛보여주는 시간을 주셨습니다. 뭔들 맛있지 않을까. I'm Ino.
Joel.
Joel. Nice to meet you.
Hectares. ¿Para dónde? Vamos, estoy para ir.
아, 드디어 왔습니다. 플라잉 푸마스 치즈. 호호. 와, 이거 랩실인가봐요. 올라. 주라는 향이 진짜 폭발적이네. 와, 이제 플라잉 푸마스의 커피를 경험해 봤습니다. 한 12시인가 만난 것 같은데 이제 거의 5시 정도 되어 가네요. 저는 파나마에서 하루에 뭐 한 2농장 갈 수 있지 않을까 했는데 택도 없는 소리였습니다. 아, 이번에는 이런 차 뒤에 타고 갑니다. 군대가 생각나네요. 지금 너무 흔들리는데 이게 돌이 진짜 많거든요. 이게 일상인 것 같습니다. 이게 사람들이 다 요령이 생겨서
엉덩이에 살이 더 있는 거 아니야?
지금 다 이렇게 가요, 이렇게.
That's brutal. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Well, welcome to Finca Deborah.
와우.
It's great to have you. This is Matthias.
아, 왜 이렇게 반갑죠?
Object, so to speak. It takes much longer to produce coffee. Production is lower typically in most lots than at other elevations, 1,500, 1,600 meters. It's taken us a very, very long time to get to the point where Finca Deborah is cash flow positive. This was a hobby for a long time, up until just recently. So we're very pleased to see the kind of production that we're having this year. You're standing in front of green tip geisha trees. For those of you that know, there really are two strains. There's a bronze tip and then there's a green tip. We prefer the green tip. We do have a small percentage, roughly 2 to 3% of bronze tip. But the trees, as you can see here at Finca Deborah, are in extremely good health. We do have disease up here. There are two primarily, Anthracnosis and Derrite. These are funguses that can attack the tree. But Finca Deborah is very, very dry. That's one of the real attributes about Finca Deborah that produces extraordinary coffee. We have more or less 2,100 millimeters of rain per year. In a lot of Panama, especially on the other side of the volcano, we can have 4,000 millimeters of rain. It takes a lot of time to do the work. A lot of people say, why is geisha so expensive? I could name a multitude of reasons. But the drive up here will tell you one of the reasons. But so everything is artisanally done. It's done by hand. It's done with care, and it's done with precision. And that requires talent, and talent requires capital. So when you look at the fact that our production is relatively low compared to lower elevation coffees, the fact that we have to pay our staff quite a bit more to be here because, as you can see, we're isolated. We have to bring our groceries every week to our people. Walking to the main road is 3 hours, so it's not feasible to walk to the grocery store or take a bus. But we do not spray pesticides or herbicides at Finca Deborah. Our philosophy is that we want to harmonize our presence, so to speak, with our ecology, and that's reflected in our cup. In addition, if we harm our soils, which are sort of the essential element for fine coffee, we're only hurting ourselves. And also, we're not interested in poisoning our clients because ultimately you will drink that chemical. So that becomes systemic in the tree, and certainly it's going to be in the fruit. So we want to harmonize what we're doing here in our ecology and in nature, and our coffees definitely reflect that. Our coffees are terroir driven 100%. For the reasons I've already talked about. But you can just sit here in silence without the motor I hear in the background and really appreciate what this place is all about. And another thing that's nice about Deborah is it, well, not completely isolated anymore, but almost completely isolated.
You can hear the bees. You can hear the birds, obviously. You can see the insects, many different species of insects on the cover crop. And our microbial activity in our soils has never been healthier. And that's the secret to success, letting nature speak through your coffees. So I let nature do the hard part, and I just add a little bit of touch depending on what process we're talking about. But yeah, never gets old.
데보라 농장 진짜 산을 잘 타야 되겠는데요. 진짜 아름답네요. 진짜 와보면 정말 입이 떡 벌어집니다. 진짜. 이런데 이제 게이샤 트리가 있고, 이게 수확을 진짜 어떻게 하는지 또 한번 우리가 마시는 커피 감사하게 되네요.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jameson showing us.
Okay. ¿Todo bien, cosecha?
Ajá, excelente.
Bien, bien. Excelente, amigo.
No, no.
So the Cassiopeia that are planted in here are buddy planted. What does that mean? It means I planted them within other varieties of trees. Now this area particularly has a lot of wind. The soil conditions are not great. So I wanted to try something new, something different, and I decided I wanted to plant Cassiopeia 3 years ago. And much to our surprise and delight, these trees are producing after the 3rd year. So I think it was the right tree to plant for this area. And Cassiopeia is an F1 variety. And that F1 is a hybrid between ET41, which is an African heirloom, and Caturra. So why did I decide on Cassiopeia? One, because Caturra is an extremely robust foliar system and root system. Here in the Deborah Dry House, we have our 4-tiered system that I designed, 7 or 8 years ago. This allows us to maximize our real estate, but also every single coffee has a specific recipe on the wet side and the dry side. So it isn't just the wet side that's exciting and interesting and innovative. On the dry side as well. In fact, I would say that on the dry side, it might even be more important than the wet side. Deborah Ellipse. This coffee in 2014 in June took first place in WBC. So obviously we're starting to do quite a bit of this coffee due to its demand. Flat color to your right and this shiny color to your left. The sugars are still intact in this coffee. Nirvana, during its processing, the yeasts are consuming the sugars. So when we extract these naturals, there's very little sugar left in them. And they actually dry almost like a washed coffee. So you have to be very, very careful with them because they dry quickly. Yeah.
와, 올라갈 때는 이런 커피백이 없어갖고 정말 엉덩이 부서지는 줄 알았는데, 그래도 올 때는 여기 앉아서 오니까는 살짝 잠들었습니다.
Enjoyed it very much. Thank you GSC for being here. It's wonderful to have you here in Panama for the first time, at least with Think of Deborah.
자, 볼칸에서 3박 4일 일정을 마무리하고 다시 우리 팀은 보케테로 이동합니다. 보케테인데 알티에리 농장 갈 겁니다. 와, 너무 예쁘죠? 입구 근사하네요. 저거 봐봐요 진짜. 와.
Welcome.
커핑 준비하고 있습니다 지금. 반갑네요. 우리 또 그린비너 카페이기도 한 아이덴티티 커피랩. 진짜 향이 다 너무 좋아요. 진짜 기대돼요. 보람산 가토도 카메라는 포커스가.
뭐라는 거?
어.
But then you see, you have a different picking day. This is February 6th. Yes, it smells really good. Yes, we have two rooms like this, one to dry coffee. We have different way to process coffee, to dry coffee. We can dry coffee in this room. For example, wash coffee with warm, maybe 40, 42 Celsius degree. We can dry coffee in, say, 7 or 8 days. Or we can dry really slow, like these coffees, maybe 35 days. We change the temperature of the room, we change the speed of the fans, and the speed of the dehumidifier that is in the corner. And the idea is to create an environment really similar to that environment where the coffee grows. The geisha grow all the time under 80 Celsius degree in our farm. It's really cold. And the natural yeast, the microorganisms grow in this environment. The first step that we are doing traditionally is to dry the coffee under the sun, increase the humidity, change all the environment, change the microorganisms, change everything. If we are talking about terroir, the microorganism is part of the terroir. That's the reason that we decide to dry the high-end coffees under 18 Celsius degrees, to keep all the time the same temperature of the environment where the geisha grow. Basically, in this room, we draw geishas. He's married with a Panamanian, and 55 years ago, he lived in Panama, and he is a businessman, and he bought the farms, a few people. You know, in the middle of 25 ago, in the middle of the coffee crisis, very much farmer was losing the farms for the economic problems. And Mr. Altieri, to help a few friends, he bought the farms. Now,
별건 아니지만 저희 GSC 선물 줬습니다. 예. 와. 땡큐. 와, 선물 받았어.
I know it was last minute, but.
보람님 픽 음식점에 왔습니다. 와, 근사하다. 너무 멋지다. 그림 같단 말을 몇 번 하는지 모르겠네요. 스페인어 잘하시는 분 없나요?
Still working on how important to have some more marketing team as well and get taking photos.
진짜 맛있어. 거기도 볼케이노가 있더라고.
Very close to Korea.
이거는 바나나 튀긴 건데 명태전 같대요. 와, 양고기 주문했는데 비주얼 도랏.
Kupa Isan. It's weird because we don't have that in Japanese. Like one.
When we won the BOP this year on the Geisha Natural, last year in the Geisha Natural, it was in a bag for 2 days. So if you do the process well done, you will not damage the geisha flavors. They will be enhanced. Remember, the one that won the BOP this year competed against 60 other coffees in that same category. So it's a good, he cut all the coffee. it was a good coffee, and it was fermented. It was not classic. But sometimes we are afraid, oh, this is, what will the, like when you compete, what will the judges say? Should I use this lot for my competition? Should I mix it with this one? Oh, what kind of judges? We have judges from Greece. They like Joseph Brodsky's 90 plus, so let's make it, process it. So, but we know the judges already because the judges have been the same. We changed a little bit this year. We have 2 new ones, 2 that retired, and we know that it has changed. Like everybody, they are looking more for clean, but we took the gamble of this little process. It was a spectacular coffee when we pick it here with my team. So back is like many, many, many bags, and they ferment like, we think that they ferment a little bit more. And we leave the CO2 inside and the juices inside the bag. In the tanks, we can leave the juices and the CO2 inside, but the tanks are plastic tanks. They leak CO2. The fermenters, the stainless steel fermenters, you can shut it down very well, but they are bigger. So you don't know what's going on in the middle, even if you, but in the bags, they turn out to be good.
발효 같은 거를 거친 커피 같은 경우에는 뭐 자두나 뭐 체리나 포도나 이런 계열들도 많이 느껴지고 복합적이고 맛있네요.
The thing that I sent is dark room dry. Okay, the aguacatillo. So we have 3 aguacatillos here. Washed, honey, and natural. This year, the aguacatillo is going to produce more, so we're going to have aguacatillo there. We have Vueltas here.
라마스투스 윌포드님 집에 초대받아서 이렇게 또 밥 먹고 가라고. 너무한 거 아닙니까? 완벽하네요. 이런 환대가 진짜 너무 감사합니다. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Nino.
Noemi.
Noemi.
And hello.
이게 농장주분의 어떤 스타일이 있는 것 같아요. 이제는 랩실을 좀 보니까. Wow, very nice place. Yeah.
제시고.
윈디리지에서는 뭐 티피카랑 게이샤가 유명하고, 그리고 여기는 이제 미스티 마운트가 새로 농장인데 어디죠? 거기 라마스 옆에 엘부르 옆에 농장이 있어요. 근데 저스틴은 거의 100% 유기농이에요. 말리는 거는 이제 거의 다 여기서 말리고 저기에.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
How are you, Justin?
How's it going? See you, brother.
It's been a while, huh? Yeah. Hope you're doing good.
Pretty good, yeah. So I like to be really clear from the beginning, but I think in this case it's better to, taste kind of how the vintage is feeling and what it's tasting like. These are still quite early lots. I think 10 is maybe the most advanced. Yeah. None of them are rested. These are all roasted and come out of the dry room yesterday.
Oh, geez, okay. Cool.
So we're cooking as it comes out of the dry room. Perfect. And we have more wash than naturals because our naturals are, this year I'm back to the super slow dry mentality. So I'm looking at 45 to 50 days on the naturals.
Cool.
So the wash are coming out obviously sooner. They're about 25 days. So that's why the lot numbers are more advanced on the washed, and the naturals are still like up to maybe 3 or 4, lot 3 or 4. So still super early harvest.
Okay.
And
Sure. Thank you.
Oh boy, I better watch what I say now.
I think you're good.
Really interesting vintage. I'm loving how everything's tasting.
Wow.
Super small though.
Well.
So like 25% of last year.
Oh, really?
And I think someone the other day misunderstood that it was 25% less. No, it's actually 25% of. So 75% less. And that's how we do it. We're organic, we're biodynamic. We don't use chemicals to make the farm do what we want each year. I let it ride, Last year was a very productive year, lots of fruit. It was an El Nino year, so it was warm and damp, kind of a vintage. So lots of fruit and lots of sweetness. And this year kind of got back to normal. La Nina came in. As a surfer, I felt it in the ocean. The ocean temps coming down, the temperatures coming back down. Everybody was saying global warming, which is a factor in things, but it's still, it's still cyclical. So we're definitely back to we're getting those super cool nights. The harvest started back when it should. Last year started really early.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like this year we harvested lot 1, the very first picking. At the same date we were on lot 10 last year.
Oh wow, yeah, it's a huge difference. Huh?
Yeah.
Huge difference.
So that so kind of what the long-winded story on that is that a lot of times the small years are actually the high quality years in a way.
Yeah.
Plus we have new parts of the farm. As you know, we're planting every year higher. I call them geisha gardens. We don't just plant the entire farm. We plant little pockets of where I think the geisha will love. And so each year, 4 years after each planting, we get to taste the new higher little gardens. So
cool.
It's fun to have those coming in.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of an introduction to this vintage. Super small. Windy Ridge is super small. I probably won't even be able to enter the Best of Panama this year.
Oh, really?
Or if I do, it'll be, then a lot of people won't get coffee.
You're going to have to put a lot of lots together.
A lot of lots together. Last year we were having, we had lots that were coming in at, so that's always an important thing. I get a little worried about like today, like every cupping, it's just been, we'll take it all. I'm like, fuck, it doesn't really give me time to because you know about our queue lots, right?
Yeah.
Our queue is like my, kind of like my favorite lots of the year. I don't really like the word favorite, but what I think most exemplifies the vintage. Q is short for quintessential. So it's like the quintessential lots of the year. We usually do, it's either 1 or 2 washed, and then this year we're going to introduce a natural probably, if they qualify for Q. Like we don't just, if I don't feel there's a Q, there's no Q. But so.
I see. But you haven't had any of your Qs yet.
I haven't picked yet because they're just like out the door. So I'm, I keep on the log what I think are Q potential based on the moons and what the weather's doing and how the process went and how things smelled through the ferment, because all of our coffee is done by hand. The ferments I do organoleptically. I don't use gadgets to measure anything. I just use my palate, smell and taste. So it's tasting the ferments, smelling the ferments, pulling them that's why none of them are the same really. I mean, some might be 62 hours, some might be 58, some might be 12, some might be whatever, And so I take notes to what I think could potentially be Qable.
Okay.
The biodynamic aspects of what we follow have a lot to do with the moon cycles. So that's very, very important. And I've seen a correlation, and over the years been able to develop a correlation to the point where it's not really just about this moon is the best, but I do a different process depending on the moon. So naturals, washed, honeys, and different variations thereof are now finally starting to be linked after years and years of cupping and connecting the dots to which process.
Precision.
Maybe I need to go for Brewers Cup now. Oh yeah, he came with me that time.
Wash 9.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank
bro.
you, Justin. Thank you so much
thank
for
you,
your time.
man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
바이바이. 와, 한 40분 정도 커핑을 했는데 진짜 엄청난 집중력으로 커핑을 했던 것 같습니다. 커피들이 진짜 너무 맛있고 섬세해서 진짜 저한테도 공부가 많이 됐던 커피예요. 그래서 사실 비싸잖아요. 양도 진짜 적고 유기농으로 재배하고 그래서 그 이유를 조금은 알았던 것 같습니다. 와, 파나마의 거의 마지막 일정입니다. 이제 파나마 시티 도착해서 맛있는 거 한번 먹으려고 왔습니다. 와, 여기 음식점에서 마지막에 커피가 나오는데 보통 음식의 마지막에 나오는 커피는 사실 맛있었던 적이 별로 없는데 알디에리 게이샤가 나옵니다. 브루잉을 이렇게 해준다고? 음식점에서? GSC의 촌비 게이샤가 들어오죠 또. 파나마에서 인천공항에 도착했습니다. 지금 시간이 이제 오전 6시가 돼가는데 알고 있지만서도 또 많이 느끼고 왔습니다. 파나마 게이샤의 커피가 왜 맛있는지, 그리고 이게 왜 그런 높은 가치를 받아야 되는지, 품질을 위한 그런 노력이라든가 이런 것들을 너무 좀 깊게 경험하고 알 수 있었던 계기였던 것 같아요. 우리가 이런 것들은 사실은 뭐 책이나 어떤 뭐 그런 매체에서 이렇게 보면서 알고 있잖아요. 근데 이게 실제로 보고 제가 그거를 가서 경험을 하니까 정말 이런 맛있는 커피를 먹을 수 있음에 너무 감사하다. 그래서 뭐 브라질에 이어서 파나마도 이렇게 또 잘 갔다 왔고, 또 앞으로 더 재밌는 영상으로 뵙도록 하겠습니다.